Hey guys, it's PJ from Wisconsin Air Gunners, and we're going to take some shots on a pest animal that's new to the channel, what we in this area call the 13 striper. This is a pest control video. It contains images of pest animals being humanely dispatched with air rifles. If you don't like that sort of thing, you should watch something else. Hey guys, it's PJ from Wisconsin Air Gunners, and I'm out here on a farm today taking a look at a small and furry pest, a little different from what I normally shoot on the backyard range, but got a couple of farms that have livestock that, well, they walk around in pastures, and I'm going to show you one of the problems they have. This is what we call a 13 striper. It's in the ground squirrel family, and as you can see, they burrow. Now, they're not quite as numerous as prairie dogs they have out west, but they do cut these pretty sizable holes, and they're very deep. And if sheep or even a horse and sometimes a cow step in there, they can break a leg, and in a lot of cases those animals have to be put down. So we're out here today trying to capitalize on some beautiful weather. I've got the FX Impact 22 cal, and we're going to try and catch some of these guys popping out of their hole, see if we can take some shots and see how many we can put in the bag. So here's an example of what happens when you misjudge the distance with an offhand shot. And down the hole he goes. But don't worry, he's come up another one. This shot is offhand at about 19 yards. Because these guys are prone to fall back down their holes if they're not completely out when you shoot them, I couldn't be sure that this was a hit until I reviewed the slow motion. So that's one down. The owner of this farm is very concerned about the well-being of her animals, and she goes to great lengths to try and repair the damage to the pasture that these do. Unfortunately, if there are too many of them, the job just becomes unmanageable. Well, that should help just a little bit. Headshots on small pests like this are the most humane way to take them down, and definitely the preferred method. Taking these shots, even at close range, really requires two things. The first is a stable shooting platform. For this shot, I took a knee. The second thing is to know where you need to dial in order to put the crosshairs in the right spot. To make this shot with the impact and the Optizon scope, I dial almost as far as I would for an 80-yard shot. I guess you can tell me if I got the settings right. Here's another example of just how easy it is to miss a nice up-close shot. I had figured this shot at about 15 yards when in fact it was probably closer to 12. In the replay, you can see the pellet here below the crosshairs. It's rising to meet the point where the crosshairs and the pellet should intersect at 15 yards. But because on the impact the scope is so high over the bore, it's a clean miss. If it hadn't been for the Donnie FL Tatsu on the front of my impact, I think this guy would have been long gone. Fortunately for me, and unfortunately for him, he didn't go far. And while I didn't adjust for the mistake I made on the first shot, because he was standing up, it really didn't matter. It seemed like these guys were all over the place, Here's another one that came up, giving me an offhand shot at about 22 yards. I swear it looks like the pellet just curls right over his head. What can I say? It's harder to make an offhand shot than it is to make a shot off the bench. Well, if you've made it this far, hopefully you can stick around for one more shot. We'll call it redemption. At least that's how I hope it turns out. This is another offhand shot at about 15 yards.
So it won't take too much imagination to see where these guys get their name. See the alternating stripes and dots. They do have a number of different names they go by. And in Wisconsin, they're an unprotected species. And here on this farm, deemed a pest.
We hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, I hope you'll hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber, we hope you'll think about that as well. Not all of the shots we take make it to YouTube. If you're interested in following us on a day-to-day basis, you can follow hashtag Wisconsin Airgunners or me, PJ Clark, on Instagram. Until next time, shoot safe and shoot straight, and we'll see you on the next video.